Okay, here is our historical case role play. Your brother Miller, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, brother Miller, thanks for wanting to meet with us. So what's going on?
Well, having some issues, not issues with my son, but he's going through some financial stuff. He worked this past summer selling pest control, and he did really, really well for himself. And now it's a couple months into the semester, and he's already used all of his money up, and I've had to pay for this month's rent for his apartment complex for him and his wife. And he's telling me that he's out of money, so I'm willing to pay for his expenditures and whatnot. But my wife, she's feeling a little different about it. She doesn't want me to necessarily have to pay for it. Her brother's family, they live off government assistance, and she just doesn't want that for our kids. She doesn't want us to have to pay for all their stuff. And so I'm kind of in a bind as to what to do about the situation.
Okay.
Have you thought about so you are willing to pay for all his expenditures?
Yeah.
Have you thought about what impact it will have on your son if you pay for everything?
Not really. I mean, I'm just worried about the things that he needs, and he needs a place to live, and he needs food, and he can't provide that for himself right now. I'm more than willing, and I can pay for it, so I don't feel bad about it.
I guess what I'm concerned about is people who are on welfare and they're given money, and a lot of them. Not that this is in your same as your situation, and it's probably not, but people who are in welfare, generally they don't feel motivated to work because they're given the money.
Right.
So.
No, I understand.
So it sounds like kind of a similar concern to what your wife felt, but what benefits do you see coming for your son long term by you paying for all their needs right now?
Just in the long term, it's maybe they'll be okay. They'll have food. They'll have a place to live. Maybe they'll be able to get through college without having to really worry about their finances. I know when I was going through college, that was a big worry of mine, and if I can, I'd like to kind of take that from them and let them have that kind of security, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be a huge benefit. I know I'd enjoy that in school. But
yeah.
What about if you weren't to pay? What kind of benefits do you see coming from that if you weren't to pay?
He'd probably have to. My son Josh have to kind of step up and get a job and find a way to pay for it, and that builds self-reliance and kind of a it's kind of like a self-interest. It's like a survival thing. You have to be able to pay for food and for money, or not for money, but for a place to live. So he has to fight for that, and he'll gain that. I feel if I don't, but that's just if you can find a job that can pay for all the needs that they have.
No, absolutely. So I guess there's pluses to both sides, and you don't want him to miss out on the lessons he learned by learning to pay things for himself. But you also don't want him to suffer or be out on the street.
Right.
And so I don't know, is there an alternative that maybe you and your wife have talked about, or that you can think of, where you're able to meet both of these in a way?
She's kind of talked about giving them, kind of like a monthly allowance, you could say almost, to where it's not paying for everything, but it pays for the bigger portions of their expenditures, like their rent and some of their food. But I haven't really thought about it too much. It's been just a few days since me and my wife just last talked about it.
Oh, okay. Is his wife working right now? Making a little bit of money?
That I know of, no.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
Okay. I think that's a great idea, doing the monthly allowance, and maybe even doing something more in line with a loan, where they pay you back eventually too.
Right.
So you're able to help them not have to worry about it so much, but in the future, they pay you back. But even say hey, here's some things we expect if we give you a loan. Like we expect you to use your money wisely. You know, we expect your wife to try and work and earn some money if she's not doing anything, and kind of lay some expectations that or conditions that go along with getting that money.
I think that'd be a good idea.
And as well as that, I think, I guess, what are your concerns? That I guess, do you have any concerns about what led him to this situation?
I know he did pretty well as the sales rep for this pest control company, so I know he made quite a bit of money, and so I'm kind of I'm wondering what he spent his money on. You know, if it was on the honeymoon with his newlywed, or if it was just on things he didn't really need but he wanted. And so I'm concerned of what he's spending his money on and if he's making those wise choices like he should be.
Does it worry you that if you did give him money that he would continue to spend unwisely?
It does, and so that's why as of right now I'm only paid for the rent, and so I've only paid for what X needed paid for. I don't give him much more than what he needs at the moment.
I think that's like a great idea, giving him just what he needs. How did you determine like what was just what he needs and what was?
I asked him how much his rent was and how much he would spend, a week or 2 weeks on groceries, and then I'd just give him the money and then make sure he paid for his rent and paid for his groceries, and that was it.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I think if you do a loan or decide to do something like that, maybe ask for a certain amount of money back every so often, so you know that they are working and they are trying to earn money to provide and pay things back. Because maybe his wife's working right now and they're using that money to play with while they're having their apartment and stuff paid for. And so if you get yourself into a situation like that, you have to make sacrifices and learn how to do that.
Right.
So I think you can be really teach him some great lessons on that.
I agree. I think that'd be really good for him in his new life to kind of learn those lessons, not necessarily the hard way.
Well, before we wrap up, anything you want to add? Okay. Well, thanks for meeting with us.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you.